Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens 2. Rebirth of Emperor Yang Part 10 based on novel. So let's start. Several elders guarding the pavilion looked at the bamboo forest, and from there, slowly came out an old man in white robe. It was Liu Xincheng, the current elder of the Liu family, who looked fiercely at several elders guarding the pavilion. He gave a cold hum in his mouth and nose. Even if he ignored it, he turned his head to Xiao Yan standing aside and smiled. The younger generation is stupid. I don't know the great kindness of my predecessors. I hope adults can forgive them. I'm very grateful here. Xiao Yan smiled faintly when he heard the speech, but he looked at Liu Huabai and said, "If I don't even have this tolerance, it's a waste of my cultivation over the years. Besides, it's human nature. Any family that finds such a precious treasure of their ancestors in the family must strive to embrace each other, so as not to be taken away by some generation with bad thoughts which will bring disaster to the world. Therefore, I can understand. As for the hospitality of the Liu family, I'll accept it." With that, Xiao Yan walked towards the plaque without restraint. Sitting in front of the plaque, he gently put his palm on the plaque, and the soul power rushed towards the three characters of the library on the plaque. As soon as he touched it, a fierce and overbearing suction emerged from it. In an instant, Xiao Yang's soul power appeared in another world, where mountains and forests stand towering. At a glance, there were countless peaks and jungles, green mountains, green trees, a prosperous scene, snakes, insects, birds and animals. Suddenly, a kind middle-aged man's voice came to Xiao Yang's ear. Although the voice was small, it made the whole world tremble slightly, as if there was an open day clock ringing the world. Xiao Yan was surprised and his eyelids jumped involuntarily. "You're not from my Liu family, you?" Hearing that his complexion remained unchanged, Xiao Yan nodded and said yes. At the moment, Xiao Yan didn't dare to neglect at all. From the previous voice, I'm afraid the strength of this middle-aged man is at least at the level of 7 stars and half emperors. How dare he neglect such strength? Therefore, Xiao Yan also showed great obedience. The voice of the middle-aged man came out again, with a light hum. The space in front of Xiao Yan was slightly distorted. A middle-aged man with a shawl, black hair, handsome face, wearing a blue suit and a pattern of a long sword stabbing the sun on his chest appeared in front of Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan frowned slightly. He thought that he was also a member of a sect. He lived here in seclusion with his family for some reasons. The middle-aged man seemed to have guessed what Xiao Yan thought, nodded slightly, looked at Xiao Yan and said, "Did I leave the younger generation to allow you to use this gold plaque?" Xiao Yan didn't deny it. The middle-aged man nodded slightly and said again, "In that case, you should have told them the secret on the gold plaque." Xiao Yan's face changed slightly, but he still nodded. If such a strong man really wanted to kill him, he should have done it long ago. Why so much nonsense? The middle-aged man nodded again, and then gave a sigh. His eyes also became a little godless. He looked into the distant sky, as if he saw the glorious days of the family in the past, but unfortunately, those have become distant, they no longer belong to them. The past glory has become history. Now there is only a lonely Liu family, a Liu family that can rise again only by external forces. A moment later, the middle-aged man's eyes finally become firm again. His eyes seemed to be full of hope again. He turned his head and looked at Xiao Yan with a sigh. Xiao Yan was also surprised by this look. He swallowed a mouthful of saliva, turned his mouth away, and stepped back half a step with a dry smile. However, the middle-aged man raised an arc around his mouth, smiled and suddenly said, "Since you are qualified to use this golden plaque, it means that you have great kindness to our Liu family. I think our future generations should also be attached to you. In that case, our descendants of the Liu family should also be your subordinates." Ha ha! Protecting your subordinates should also be your duty. Then, my Liu family is entrusted to you. I hope you can take me with the Liu family to restore my glory. I don't want to surpass me in those years, as long as I can ensure that my Liu family can have a place in this southwest region. Of course, as compensation, I will entrust you with all the world avenue I have learned all my life. What's your intention? Xiao Yan's face changed slightly when he heard the speech, but then there was a burst of excitement. In the end, he was uncertain and hesitant. It was good to increase cultivation, but he still had something to do. If he stayed in the southwest for too long, he was afraid that the time to find Haimo dust would be delayed a lot. Therefore, Xiao Yan could not judge whether to go or stay. Stay, increase your strength, understand the heaven and earth road, and facilitate your cultivation in the future, but your next goal will be much slower. The old devil doesn't know who he is, why he knows himself and his origin. These are unknowable mysteries, so I have to find the answer. Xiao Yan doesn't know whether the old devil Yang will bring someone to kill him. If he does, Xiao Yan must be unable to compete with him. If he doesn't fight, he will face the great difficulty of life and death. In this way, it's difficult to make a decision as soon as possible. The middle-aged man seemed to see the worry in Xiao Yan's heart. His requirements seemed to be too high. He blinked a few times, looked at Xiao Yan and said again, "If you have any worries, you don't have to think about it. If you are busy now, you don't have to stay in the Liu family too long. As long as you can help the Liu family stand in the southwest in the future, don't decline or die. You don't have to stay in the Liu family all the time. I just hope you can help me the Liu family when the Liu family is in trouble. Don't let me cut off the blood of the Liu family. That's what I do, the elder's only request for you." The middle-aged man sighed slightly, mixed with a trace of begging. Xiao Yan finally nodded when he saw this. He looked at the middle-aged man with a little more perseverance. The middle-aged man smiled and nodded helplessly. To tell the truth, although he was strong, he also had this inheritance as an attraction to Xiao Yan, but these were not enough after all. Others couldn't see it, but how could he not see it? Xiao Yan's strength is not only so strong that he is not much worse than him, but the most important thing is that Xiao Yan is still young and only middle-aged, but it took him more than 100 years to cultivate to this point. Therefore, from the perspective of anti-inflammatory cultivation talent, surpassing him is just a matter of time. As long as you give him enough time, he must have a place even on the mainland. Then he turned his eyes to Xiao Yan. Although it was difficult to speak, he finally said it. The middle-aged man said to Xiao Yan, "Little fellow, I have an unkind request here. I hope you can agree." Xiao Yan frowned slightly, but still motioned to let the middle-aged man go on. He saw that the middle-aged man was a little embarrassed and said, "I hope you can make a thunder punishment oath to ensure my trust in you. I hope you can agree." Xiao Yan's face changed instantly when he heard the speech. Lei made a vow. This is a terrible thing he knew before. Such a terrible thing should be tied to him. How can Xiao Yan bear it? Xiao Yan frowned and a trace of anger rose slowly from his heart. His willingness to help the Liu family is the biggest bottom line, but now the old man even wants him to make a thunder punishment oath, which makes him how to bear it. Therefore, the expression on his face is also quite unhappy. The middle-aged man helplessly lowers his head when he sees this. There is really no way. If not, he can't ensure the safety of his stay. But if so, he may shut Xiao Yan out and face difficulties at both ends, but he had to do it. After thinking for a moment, Xiao Yan finally calmed down. What the elder said is not unreasonable. Therefore, after hesitating, Xiao Yan finally raised 3 fingers above his head and straight to the sky. In his tone, he said with a little firm meaning, "I, Xiao Yan, in the name of Emperor Yang, swear today that I will do my best to ensure the peace of the Liu family in my lifetime. As long as I live, the Liu family will survive." At the same time, on the sky outside the Jinming plague, there are thunder clouds rolling. Today, the real sound of thunder resounds through the sky of Qingyang City. Thunder snakes and lightning hit the ground around Xiaoyang, bombarding a large area of scorched black land, causing Liu Huabai and other Liu family members to quickly step back and leave this bamboo forest until the thunder clouds disappear and the world is bright. All the talents gathered around again and looked at Xiaoyang, who was still in Wei Ran's heart. They seemed to have an answer, so they stopped disturbing and waited quietly to drive away some family children who came to watch. In the Jinming plague, the middle-aged man looked at Xiaoyang and made a thunder punishment vow. He looked relaxed and nodded, But Xiao Yang turned his head and looked at him again. There was a strange color in his eyes, which made him a little uneasy. Just wanted to ask, but Xiao Yang said first. Elder, since I have made the thunder punishment oath, is it your turn? The middle-aged man looked at Xiao Yang suspiciously and asked. I don't know what you mean. Can you tell me? Xiao Yang smiled, looked at the middle-aged man's eyes and said. It seems that the elder really doesn't know. In that case, the younger generation will talk to you well. Elder, let the younger generation make a thunder punishment oath. Now the younger generation has made a thunder punishment oath according to the wishes of the elder, but if the younger generation really leaves like this, why don't you listen to your Liu family after you go out? So I think the elder should also make a thunder punishment oath. The people who bind themselves should not take the thunder punishment oath as control over me. When Xiao Yang's voice fell, he narrowed his eyes and looked at the middle-aged man silently, while the middle-aged man looked at Xiao Yang with a frown. After a moment, he sighed for a long time, and finally nodded. It should be that he made a thunder punishment oath with Xiao Yang to bind his people, and the Liu family outside also saw the 9 heavenly god thunder resounding through the sky again, but this time, the difference is that all the people of the Liu family feel the binding force of the 9 heavenly god thunder on themselves. It seems that something has bound another part of themselves. If they violate that part, they will be punished by the heavenly thunder, except the family owner and the elder. Indeed, no one knows what the mysterious part that he doesn't know is. The elder and the family leader Liu Huabai have 4 eyes opposite each other. They both see a trace of helplessness and happiness from each other's eyes, but they don't say much. They wait quietly in place and don't allow anyone to get close to Xiao Yang. Inside the Jinming plague, Xiao Yang looked at the middle-aged man with a satisfied face and made a thunder punishment oath. A smile appeared at the corners of his mouth. He looked at the middle-aged man and smiled, but no one knew what they were thinking. Xiao Yang and the middle-aged man talked and laughed with each other, and then looked at the middle-aged man with a sigh in their eyes, and the middle-aged man seemed to understand something. With a sigh in my heart, the highlight is finally here. The middle-aged man looked at Xiao Yang with a complicated look, sighed, finally nodded and said to Xiao Yang. In that case, I won't say much more. Let's start now. Let me introduce myself first. You don't seem to have any impression of me. My original name is Liu Feng. I was the deputy leader of Chaoyang sect, one of the 5 major gates in the southwest region 1,500 years ago. I was called the Wind Emperor because of my unique skills. Unfortunately, my Chaoyang sect met me 1,200 years ago. The door was in great trouble. Tens of thousands of people from all over the sect died. The disciples scattered in the sect. In the end, only my Liu family was left. Speaking of it, it was really a big mistake for me. Speaking of this, Liu Feng seemed to think of some sad things in the past, sighed slightly, looked up at Xiao Yang, showed a reluctant smile, and then said, But I won't say those words today. I'd better give you the inheritance I promised. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang's eyes also showed an excited look. His eyes were shining at Liu Feng. Liu Feng smiled. The knots in his hands were constantly changing, and sets of mysterious fingerprints were made. The space in front of Liu Feng was also constantly distorted and changed, sending out waves of ripples and spreading. Xiao Yang's face became more and more excited and powerful. This is what Xiao Yang is most concerned about. Now there is a great opportunity in front of him. How can Xiao Yang not be excited? Suddenly, Liu Feng, who was pinching and printing the knot in his hand, made a sound and reminded Xiao Yang. I'd like to remind you that today is my first awakening in so many years, and this inheritance has been integrated with my remnant soul, so it's hard to completely peel it off. I'm afraid it has a large failure rate, so you should be prepared. As soon as the voice fell, I didn't wait for Xiao Yang's reply, so I focused on the seal in my hand. Xiao Yang's face is also a little solemn. The power of his soul spreads out and guards around Liu Feng. After all, if he fails, it's really a big loss, which makes Xiao Yang have to be careful. With the passage of time, the knot in Liu Feng's hand became more and more complex. The original calm look on his face began to become dignified, and his solid body gradually became ethereal, but the spatial fluctuation around his body became more and more intense, and a trace of terrible breath came out from it, which made the void tremble constantly. The tiny space cracks spread, and Liu Feng's eyebrows wrinkled tightly. His eyes became more and more dignified when he looked at the knot in his hand, which made Xiao Yan's heart hanging in the air. Unexpectedly, it was so difficult just to remove a well-inherited one from the body. This time, it was really planted in the hands of the old man. Xiao Yan smiled helplessly, shook his head and didn't think much anymore. He had to cross his legs and sit quietly waiting for Liu Feng. After an hour, Xiao Yan's slightly closed eyes finally opened slowly and moved. Xiao Yan flashed in front of Liu Feng, with a relieved smile on his mouth. His eyes looked at Liu Feng with a little excitement. At the moment, Liu Feng's body is erratic, and his originally ruddy and bloody face has become extremely pale. The whole person seems to collapse, just like an old man at dusk, but on his pale face, he is wearing a relieved smile, and his tone is a little weak. He opens his mouth to Xiao Yan. Live up to your trust, and finally succeed. I hope this inheritance can help you. Xiao Yan also knew that it was not easy for Liu Feng to do so, so he didn't say much, but turned his eyes to a fist-sized light cyan energy light ball standing in the void in front of Liu Feng. Xiao Yan was deeply attracted by the light cyan energy light ball at the first sight, and Xiao Yan's eyes were more radiant, as if he was trying to suck the energy light ball into his eyes. Xiao Yan calmed down slightly, rolled his throat and swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He didn't expect to encounter such a great gift just when he came to the foreign world. How can it not be exciting? He was still nervous about whether he could get the inheritance of Qinjue Ancient Emperor, but now the inheritance of Ancient Emperor is in front of him, and for himself, tentacles are available. How can such a dreamy feeling make Xiao Yan not excited about it? Without much thought, the unreal palm condensed by the soul power explored forward, and a magnificent soul power surged out of the palm, wrapped the energy light ball in his hand in an instant. At this moment, Xiao Yan felt his heart beating, as if he was about to break out, an uncontrollable excitement from the bottom of his heart. Liu Feng, who saw this scene, was stunned. On his pale face, he seemed to recover some blood color between this smile. He looked at Xiao Yan's excited expression, smiled slightly, shook his head, his body was ethereal, and finally disappeared in the world. Xiao Yan also looked up at Liu Feng's disappeared figure, then looked at the energy light ball in his hand, smiled at the corners of his mouth, sat in the void and began to refine. Xiao Yan sat on the void and returned to his agitated mood. His breath was restrained and his mind relaxed. After his body and soul were adjusted to their best state, Xiao Yan turned his palm and swallowed the energy light ball into his mouth. With a swallowing sound, Xiao Yan's body condensed by the power of his soul suddenly emitted a burst of dazzling blue light, which scattered to block out the sky and the sun. The illusory world in the Jinming plaque suddenly collapsed, leaving only a small mountain forest, and the rest is a void space. In Xiao Yan's body, a majestic force rises. Although it is the body from the illusory soul, at the moment, Xiao Yan can still feel that his body is expanding and his soul power is rapidly withdrawn. He fled away from the golden plaque. Boom! As soon as Xiao Yan's soul power was incorporated into his body, a huge wave of fighting spirit erupted from him, which made Liu Huabai and the elder of the Liu family quickly retreat and leave the bamboo forest outside the library. At the same time, the huge wave of fighting spirit erupted from Xiao Yan turned into a huge wave. In an instant, the bamboo forest turned into a piece of ruins and dust, which made the people unable to see the situation. However, due to the air wave sweeping away, the people were unable to enter. Therefore, although they were uneasy, they had to stand outside quietly and wait. By the way, they also prevented other people from coming to the theater. All the people saw this. I can only reluctantly suppress my curiosity and look at it from a distance. The pot is boiling outside. Xiao Yan is no exception here. Waves of crazy and domineering energy burst out on him, making Xiao Yan's face become extremely dignified in an instant. At the moment, a fist-sized cyan energy light ball is slowly floating in his cyclone, and the seemingly harmless energy light ball of human and livestock is releasing palpitating energy. Xiao Yan's strong and overbearing power impacted on Xiao Yan's meridians, which made Xiao Yan's meridians swell like a balloon full of air, which seemed to explode at any time. At this time, Xiao Yan also looked like his teeth were clenching his eyes. Xiao Yan tried to resist bursts of pain from his body. The palm that was originally on the gold inscription plaque waved fiercely. A layer of energy shield shoots out from his hand, which tightly protects Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's hand is also propped on the ground because of the severe pain in his body. The whole person looks shaky. He can't care so much. Xiao Yan holds up his body, looks inward, and his face suddenly becomes dignified. At the moment, Xiao Yan's body has been destroyed by the energy light ball. If it weren't for different fire to protect his body, I'm afraid Xiao Yan has been seriously injured at the moment. Seeing this, Xiao Yan hurried to run the fighting spirit in his body, completely wrapped up the power belonging to the energy light ball, and thought of a place to continue to oppress, and the power in the energy light ball was also quite strong. It broke through Xiao Yan's fighting spirit blockade several times, and caused a lot of trauma in Xiao Yan's body, which made Xiao Yan extremely painful, but fortunately, after several times of the impact of the energy light ball, Xiao Yan finally surrounded it with fighting spirit. Layers of flame fighting spirit surrounded the fist-sized energy light ball. All the different fires gushed out of his body, wrapped the energy light ball and began to refine. The strange fire is burning the energy light ball fiercely, and the energy light ball is also trying its best to fight back. Xiao Yan is also quite surprised at the resistance of the energy light ball. The energy light ball has carried the refining and burning of the different fire for a long time. No matter how the different fire burns, it doesn't work at all, but fortunately, strange fire is the divine thing of heaven and earth, and can this man-made energy compete with it? What's more, positive energy is still an ownerless thing controlled by no one. Over time, strange fire naturally gained the upper hand. The blue energy light ball, originally the size of a fist, has also changed into a light blue energy light ball the size of an egg. The terror energy constantly emitted from it is also refined by Xiao Yan's different fire, which has become a part of Xiao Yan's strength, and Xiao Yan's breath is also increasing. I believe he can break through in a short time, and Ji Yu told him earlier that his strength is probably around the peak of 1.5 Emperor, but he can really break through by an opportunity. It can be said that everything is ready only due to the east wind. Now the opportunity has come. The inheritance of the ancient emperor will help Xiao Yan break through his strength. As long as the time comes, the breakthrough will come naturally. No one can change it. Even Xiao Yan is afraid he is powerless, but how can Xiao Yan stop his strength progress? So, now just wait for Xiao Yan to break through. There is no time in the cultivation. Half a month has passed, and everyone has been waiting impatiently. Even Liu Huabai, the leader of the Liu family, and the elder are slightly frowning and worried. At the moment, Liu Huabai, the leader of the Liu family, and the elder stroll to the edge of the bamboo forest, which has now become the forbidden area of the Liu family. No one can come here except a few people like the owner. At this time, they are standing outside the bamboo forest, frowning at the bamboo forest that has already turned into ruins. Looking away, they can see a white light spot in front of the library in the center of the bamboo forest. That person is Xiao Yang, who made Liu Huabai and Liu Xincheng look up for half a month. The two sighed, shook their heads and walked back. From the breath of life emitted by Xiao Yang, they could be sure that he was still alive, but as for whether he could live to refine the inheritance, they were a little helpless. Not long after they left, Xiao Yang's body in front of the library in the depths of the bamboo forest was shocked violently. A soaring breath swept the whole Qingyang city in an instant. An unparalleled fierce breath broke out from Xiao Yang's body and rushed straight to the sky. Drink! Xiao Yang roared up to the sky, which was like a dragon singing and roaring, but it surprised the world. The warcraft thousands of miles around the earthquake were crawling on the ground and dared not move at all. They only made an obedient roar in their mouth, which surprised everyone. This long roar, even several warcraft in the depths of the ancient forest opened their closed eyes slowly, emitting a deep and dignified color in their eyes. Xiao Yan was shocked all over, and a crackling crisp sound of bone joint collision sounded. He moved his hands and feet. Xiao Yanlang smiled and flew away from the ruins, meeting with Liu Huabai and others who heard the sound. Ha ha ha! Congratulations to Elder Xiao Yang for making a further breakthrough in strength. Liu Huabai and Liu Xincheng, the elder of the Liu family, smiled and hugged their fists to congratulate Xiao Yang. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also smiled happily, answered at will, and left the messy ruins with him. Xiao Yang and Liu Huabai sat on the first seat in the Liu family's discussion hall. Xiao Yang smiled and casually looked at Liu Huabai, who had been watching himself, and finally asked, "I don't know what Mr. Liu wants to talk to me about. If you have something, don't worry. Just say it. I believe Mr. Liu won't say anything bad." Liu Huabai heard that his pupils shrank slightly, and his face suddenly became a little unnatural. He calmed down slightly, and his thoughts suddenly changed. After half a day, he finally smiled and said to Xiao Yang, "Yes, what the elder said is naturally good. The younger generation does have some questions. I want to ask the elder to explain something." When Liu Huabai was talking, he looked at Xiao Yang with a little evasion in his eyes, and Xiao Yang didn't care about Liu Huabai's questions. Naturally, he knew that since Liu Feng in the Golden Plaque tried every means to make himself make a Qianlei oath, he would certainly let the people of the Liu family know. After all, the Qianlei oath was originally used to bind Xiao Yang, but it was finally discovered by Xiao Yang. If not, Xiao Yang should be a puppet of the Liu family now. Now, Liu Huabai also wants to know the exact situation of Xiao Yang in the golden inscription because of the 2-9 heavenly god thunder. After hearing this, Xiao Yang was quite dissatisfied. However, although Xiao Yang was dissatisfied, at least now the inheritance has been obtained. And I don't care less about Liu Huabai. Therefore, after a pause, Xiao Yang slowly opened his mouth under Liu Huabai's nervous eyes, and said to Liu Huabai without changing his face, "Yes, you have basically achieved the goal of the ancestors of the Liu family." As soon as he heard this, Liu Huabai had no time to be surprised, so he immediately lost his temper. The slightly open mouth also didn't close again. Two eyes stared at Xiao Yang. It looked ridiculous. Xiao Yang also smiled, and Liu Huabai responded to Xiao Yang's smile. In an instant, his face was cold and sweaty, and his sitting body unconsciously raised it. The corners of his mouth twitched slightly, pulled out a smile more ugly than crying, and asked Xiao Yang, "I don't know what elder said." Xiao Yang smiled coldly and threw a cold, piercing look at Liu Huabai. Liu Huabai's face suddenly changed and his body trembled. He quickly stood up and bowed to Xiao Yang. "I have offended you a lot. I hope you can forgive me. I just didn't respond for a moment. I hope you can bear more. Just understand. If you say something, it will kill you." As soon as these words were exported, the teacup in Xiao Yang's hand also burst into a piece of powder and scattered in the air. At the same time, it also made Liu Huabai's face change again, and his bent body bowed to 90 degrees, so that he couldn't see Xiao Yang's expression. It is not known whether he intended to avoid it. Unfortunately, at the moment when he bent down to avoid Xiao Yang's eyes, he also missed Xiao Yang's joking expression. Xiao Yanqing cleared his throat and was ready to go on. Seeing this, Liu Huabai hurriedly took a good teacup and made a cup of steaming tea for Xiao Yang. For the sake of your ancestors' inheritance, I will spare your life today, but speaking of this, your ancestor of the Liu family is indeed a figure. But unfortunately, the means are too cruel. I'm afraid it's the first time in my life that I've been cheated. As for the descendants of the Liu family, Liu Feng must have told you his plan. Hey! You'd better not have hope. I can promise him to keep your Liu family when your Liu family is in danger. Therefore, I advise you not to make trouble for me during my absence. Otherwise, even if I'm bound by the Qianlei oath, I won't do it still destroy your Liu family. Liu Huabai's face color changed, but it was much better than before. His eyes turned and bowed to Xiao Yang. Liu Huabai finally calmed down and said to Xiao Yang, "I understand that it's the biggest concession to the Liu family that the elder can do so. I'll try my best to control the people and prevent them from provoking right and wrong everywhere. If there are violators, I'll forgive them." Liu Huabai's words really nail and cut the iron. It's not muddy at all, which makes people hear a bit of affirmation in the words. Let Xiao Yang also nodded slightly. Then he drank a few cups of tea, stood up and walked slowly outside the hall. Liu Huabai hurriedly followed. A moment later, Liu Hua glanced at the ruins under his feet, looked up and asked Xiao Yang. "I don't know what this is, sir." Xiao Yang smiled, but he didn't answer. His body moved and came to the door of the library. Liu Huabai picked up his eyebrow and remembered Xiao Yang's request half a month ago. Liu Huabai reluctantly shook his head. The strong always care about some things. It's just a library of a small family. Even if it was brilliant in the past, what can it be now? Liu Huabai hurried to Xiao Yang and came to the gate of the library pavilion. Now the plaque symbolizing the important place of the family is no longer hung on the library pavilion. It seems to be just an ordinary attic. Liu Huabai stands in front of the library, with knots in his hands. Mysterious knots hit the wooden door of the library, but they sent out waves of ripples like water waves. Xiao Yang stood quietly behind Liu Huabai, looked at the lonely pavilion standing on the ruins, and looked at the gold plaque standing in front of the blue stone. With a slight sigh, his palm poked out, and only a low muffled sound was heard. A cluster of green flames the size of his thumb rose from Xiao Yang's index finger. Although it was only a cluster of small flames, it seemed that heaven and earth roared unwilling at the moment when the flames rose. Xiao Yang's mind moved. The power of soul spread with this small cluster of green flames, attached to the whole bamboo forest ruins, and then slowly sank into the ground under Xiao Yang's control, and finally disappeared into the land. At this time, Liu Huabai finally opened the door of the library. Xiao Yang looked at Liu Huabai with a little sweat on the tip of his nose. With a slight smile, he raised his legs and stepped into the library. Liu Huabai took another look at the ruins in front of the library. His eyes were slightly dim, sighed, turned around and followed Xiao Yang into the library. In the library pavilion, storage racks are orderly placed, and old fighting skills are orderly placed on the storage racks. Xiao Yang saw a storage rack in the innermost part, which seemed to have been neglected for a long time. He saw 4 big words, literary classics, written on it. Xiao Yang smiled at the corner of his mouth. These may only be seen for the small family, which can't play a big role, but they are just what Xiao Yang needs. Xiao Yang stepped forward in 3 steps and 2 steps and came to the storage rack. The white palm gently flipped between ancient books covered with dust. Finally, Xiao Yang's eyes fixed on an ancient and simple book that looked slightly broken and stored in the corner. Xiao Yang couldn't wait to open the book. Pictures and explanations of different kinds and different effects of medicinal materials were displayed on it. When Xiao Yang's palm turned over, a green plant with slender stems and leaves was only 1 foot long, and the root was slightly soiled. It looked like a piece of rattan medicine, which flashed from the intermediate ring that Xiao Yang asked Liu Huabai for. Xiao Yang rummaged through the book according to the appearance of a cane. Liu Huabai saw that Xiao Yang seemed to have found something. He just wanted to come forward to have a look, but Xiao Yang waved his sleeve robe and blocked it 3 feet away with a fighting-like curtain. Liu Huabai could not see the situation clearly because of the light curtain, so he had to wait patiently. Wisteria tendril, the main medicinal material of the 9-grade pills issue Tianlingdan. It takes 100 years to sprout, 1,000 years to grow, and 5,000 years to really mature. During the seedling period, it can use the heaven and earth energy accumulated for thousands of years to trigger a heaven and earth thunder robbery, baptize itself with the power of heaven and earth thunder, and quench and refine medicine power. If you can survive the thunder robbery, wisteria tendrils can directly mature and become fully mature wisteria spiritual tendrils. They can change their intelligence and walk in the world. They are no different from ordinary people, and their cultivation can even reach the level of fighting saints. Xiao Yang sighed constantly when he saw this place. Unexpectedly, it was just a medicinal material. As long as thunder robbed, it would be the stage of fighting saints. Tut-tut, my accomplishments have been trained on dogs, tut-tut. Evil spirit demon fruit, it is an essential medicinal material for the 9-grade imperial pill and 1-grade herbal medicine. It absorbs the turbid spirit of the dead soul of all souls in the world, so as to absorb the century-old evil spirit, the millennium soul of the strong of Dozone, or the century-old soul of the strong of Dozuan. After 1,000 years of growth, the black blood demon tree began to bear fruit. After 10,000 years, it can become a tree with 10 fruits, but only 9 of the 10 fruits can be used by people, and the remaining 1 must flow one by one. Otherwise, the person who uses it will die. As for the reason, no one knows. People who only know that they have used the 10th one in the past do not know why they burst and died before using it. Therefore, anyone in the world who gets the evil soul demon fruit without knowing its origin will lose it. After all, no one knows whether the demon fruit will bring him a fatal disaster. Therefore, people in the world can't avoid evil spirits and demon fruits. Xiao Yan looked at it for several hours and was surprised and shocked for several hours. Xiao Yan was shocked by several herbs that had long disappeared in Duki mainland, and several rare plants that had only heard legends and never seen before. Until later, Xiao Yan was numb. One afternoon, in the process of Xiao Yan's repeated surprise, until it was dark, Xiao Yan returned to the Liu family's housing area with a shocked and confused Liu Huabai. But unfortunately, Liu Huabai didn't know anything. He could only blink and ignored it. The strong man is really strange. But when Liu Huabai left with Xiao Yan, he didn't notice that the ruins around him have become a large green bamboo forest. It was not until the next morning that Liu Huabai remembered what happened last night under the shocked eyes of his people, which also shocked Liu Huabai. A strong man is indeed a powerful man. Everything in heaven and earth is omnipotent. Strength is indeed the creator of the world. As long as you have strength, tut, everything in heaven and earth, even everything in nature, is nothing. Liu Huabai sighed in a low voice. Liu family, it's still too weak. In the next few days, Xiao Yan has been staying at Liu's house. Even so, Liu Huabai is also a little happy. After all, as long as Xiao Yan doesn't go, who dares to make trouble in Qingyang City? In a flash, 10 days have passed. It has been a month since Xiao Yan came to this strange world. On this day, Xiao Yan, who is practicing, was awakened by Liu Huabai. Liu Huabai smiled at Xiao Yan and said, Master, tomorrow will be our annual large-scale auction in Qingyang City. Would you like to participate? Xiao Yan picked up his eyebrows and thought about it in his heart. A smile appeared at the corners of his mouth. He nodded to Liu Huabai, stopped talking and continued to practice. This video will end here.